Hey guys, this is Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be typing one of the most famous what is it?
Drummer, singer, and
Yeah.
artist and songwriters of all time, Phil Collins.
Phil Collins, guys. So you guys know we're going to be using Linda Berens Interaction Styles and Temperament combined with cognitive functions. We have all those broken down, and today I got my lovely one of my best typers in the group. We got PC and we got Zara here. If you want to get typed, those are guys going to be the guys who most likely type you if you in BC, guys. They're very good, very good. But you got to be authentic if you want to find your
Yeah, yeah,
actual personality type, right? You can't be bullshitting around with these guys.
no,
So
yeah, and Phil Collins is one of the greatest
He's just a
drummers,
great dude. Yeah.
a
It's
great man, great songwriter. You could look at his records from the late '60s to '72, even past then to Genesis up in '73 to works in the '80s. He's just and as Story does his single career. He's just had a lot. He has had a whole panoply of albums and genres and stylistic themes, and moving to even Disney and doing and just has an amazing life.
yeah.
yeah. If you've seen the Hangover movies with Mike Tyson doing his little drum solo, that's
Yeah,
Air of the Night is the drum solo that he's doing, which is performed by Phil Collins. So
yeah,
for a lot of those Gen Zs, that's probably the only thing they've really heard of him. So yeah.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I'll say is like I just know him for in the night or what the fuck. God damn, I fucked it
In
up.
in the Air of the Night.
You can't count on
In
me
the
for
air,
SI shit, bro. You can't count on me for SI. You can't. You can't. But this guy's a very a great artist or whatnot. Personality dummy base has him as an ISFJ guy. So we're gonna look at the chart. ISFJ is all the way at the bottom, right? They have logistical intelligence, so that's like they believe in putting people in the right place at the right time. All of that Jimmy Jazz doing the
yeah,
data, doing all that, like, hey, how much did PC use last month? Okay, this month PC is gonna use this much, because what happened last month, like SI
yeah.
last month. So
What
really,
was?
Well,
huh?
yeah. And by the
Yeah.
way, Susudio is a great, great song. I'm
Mhm.
doing American Psycho. Sorry.
Studio.
So what you would
Great,
notice
great song.
about
Uh,
ISFJs is they're informative, they're responding, they're outcome or control. TIFE, SINE, they're affiliative, they're systematic, and they're concrete, guys. So if he meets those metrics, we will call him.
Or
Uh,
the concrete,
yeah,
if he
responding.
is.
If he meets those metrics, we will call him ISFJ. If he doesn't, we'll actually find his actual personality type, and we'll be
Yeah,
taking little nuggets over here as we go.
yeah, very well.
Awards and 7 or 8 Grammys. We lose count after that. He's also he's also the member of that really exclusive club of artists who sold over 200 million albums. And at the back of that club, there's a little VIP section behind the velvet rope. And it's for the people who have sold over 100 million albums as part of a band, and then they've done it again as a solo artist. There are 3 members of that club: Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson, and Phil Collins.
You see that? He did a better interview than us. Shit, fuck.
damn. I'm surprised Sting wasn't in that little list there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can already.
Not a bad start then.
No, no.
Is that right? I'm
I'm
always a
already
bit
seeing
nervous about
Fe.
requoting sales figures.
How you say that?
I said, notice how they're giving him all this praise, and he's like, no, that sounds very self-deprecating Fe to me.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, anything?
And and just so far kind of direct sounding.
I ain't heard shit. I only heard one word.
No, but he's just, I know, but he seems like he doesn't seem like he wants to elaborate much, but we'll see.
Yeah, you'll
Well,
notice that between FIs and FEs, FIs are like, yeah, give me more praise, give me more praise.
Mhm.
But FEs like, no, 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 no.
Even to the point of
Or give
like
it to
somebody,
someone else. Yeah.
yeah,
even like somebody like myself, I love the praise, but I don't really like it. So if you give it out to me in front of other people, I'll be very uncomfortable about it, but I do like actually like it. So you see my body like kind of get excited about it, but then like I will naturally kind of try to walk away from it. Is what
hmm.
happens. Because I don't really like people like saying, "Oh, you're this great or something," or "you're this," because it's like, eh, I like it. I like it in my head to visualize it, but I
Yeah,
don't really want people really say it that much. I really
okay.
don't. It's weird. It's a weird conundrum.
Figures and stuff because some people
Yeah,
count them in a different way.
I never know. I've got a very big garage, so all these records are stacked up. No, I mean, the thing about the Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney thing, I had to read myself. No one told me. I had to read it in Billboard, and I said, "Is this true?" And they said, "Yes." And it's a kind of a special thing, because especially as you don't buy records like that anymore. So I was very proud of that. Yes, of course, yeah.
Quite right. Can we clarify a couple of things? We clarified the numbers. Clarify your health, because you walked into a bathroom the other day.
Yeah,
You're looking much better. Yeah. How are the ears? Ears are fine?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, that was obvious.
You knock them in.
Yeah, I'm okay for 65. I mean, bits wear out.
Yeah.
I had what was that? I don't know what it was. Can I have your number? The ear went out, but that was something that was 16 years ago now, and I can still do shows. I can still hear. Yeah, I had a back surgery last year. That was the last thing that happened, and it left me with this numb foot.
Yeah, I'm picking up a lot of SIA. Is anybody else picking that up? Weirdly,
SI.
weirdly SI. Go back, listen. Like I mean, I'm like, is he just like dropping his ball to where he's gonna go? But he's talking about back surgery. He's talking about all this other shit. Like, listen.
Bits wear out.
Yeah.
I had.
I had to.
What was that? I don't know what it was. Can I have your number? The ear went out, but that was something that was 16 years ago now, and I can still do shows. I can still hear. Yeah, I had a back surgery last year. That was the last thing that happened, and it left me with this numb foot, and
We'll believe you.
can't feel a bloody thing. Look. Anyway, so that will come back, but that's why I'm using this, not because of old age, babes. Yeah, it's just.
Isn't it weird that he did that? It's kind of weird.
Did what? Sorry.
I'm just leave SINE. I'm just gonna leave SINE and NI and fucking SE like on the board right now because
Yeah, why not?
he
If
is
it's erroneous, it's erroneous. But yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? Like he's talking about that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like back surgery,
Mm,
beating his foot, like talking about his foot. Like, damn, that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's had a lot of health complications.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't really know
Um,
much about him. I don't
then
know.
again, then again, I've noticed when it comes to health stuff, you can even get people like ISTP sitting there talking about SI stuff.
Yeah, you will.
Like
You
I
will.
think,
I've even
I
heard
think you did
INFJs.
you did a typing session with CM Punk, and he's literally they're just complaining about the fact that he's got a torn muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's
when
like
they're
crazy.
going through medical stuff, yeah, they will bring up SI. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we just did Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones didn't mention shit, and he's 82, and I'm pretty sure he could have. Jerry
mm,
Jones don't want to look weak, though. He doesn't want to look weak.
Kind of little things, but they'll all get better. You know, I'm still a man of my age. I can still do things.
Because in the world of rock, I always thought the drummer had the easy gig because you get a seat, don't you? You don't have to lark around in the front. You get to sit down.
But for a lot of the recent years, I have had to lark around at the front. But I've been playing since I was 5 years old, and so I'm 65 now. You know, so still sounds terrible when I say it. But that's 60 years of playing drums, and it does take its toll. You know, bits wear out, you know, constant. My hips are a little bit shot and the back.
Holy shit, we're getting a lot of SI, bro. We're getting a lot of
Yeah.
SI. We're getting a lot.
The stools
This-
back
this-
then were
this-
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you guys, we're getting a lot. Like, I'm kind of like trying to just like not accept it, but damn, we're getting a lot.
Yeah, this isn't the conceptualization we had him in some other videos.
Right, let's keep going.
You know, back posture for that one. So it's obvious things will wear out.
It was a Stratford kit, wasn't it, when you were 5?
Stratford, yes.
And you were watching Ringo Starr, and you say in the book, I would recognize Ringo Starr's Ludwig drum kit anywhere. Drumming and drumming and drumming is what I did, positioned in front of the mirror. So did you always want to actually get out from behind the kit, or were you just trying to look like Ringo Starr and shake your head?
Well, at 13, you know, that's kind of a lot of that is looking like, you know, the guy that, you know, I want to be your man, you know. I mean, there's an element of that. I somehow thought that if I wasn't looking at what I did,
I somehow thought, right,
Thought.
Ti?
Yeah. I'd say
Yeah.
he's referring to his internal framework.
I think we're getting TIFE
Yeah.
and SINE. Am I like wrong here? Like I think
So
we're
far.
getting.
It could just be his age, man. But
I mean,
but
we can pull another interview like this.
We can pull another interview.
Let's watch 10 minutes and then go to another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking like,
This is
you know,
another
the
reason.
guy that, yeah. I want to be your man, you know. I mean, there's an element of that. I somehow thought that if I wasn't looking at what I did, I would be better.
SI?
That mixed with a bit of vanity, I think, did it. But I grew up in...
He's not talking about shit from SE, dude. He's not.
No.
You know, like we had an argument, like what is SE and what is SI, and like somebody was referencing like what other people's experiences was. He's not doing that at all, right?
No.
He's not. It's.
This is...
Y'all want to pull another interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Like what the fuck? Let's go young.
I try to get
That
young.
one.
Yeah.
That one.
I'm gonna go young Phil
Yeah.
Collins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About a week or so ago, while Michael Gudinski, our talent coordinator, was in London, he had time to have a quick rave with Phil Collins from Genesis. At the end of the interview, you'll get to see some footage of Genesis mixing down in the studio. You'll have to excuse the quality of the sound there, but it's exactly as it went down in the studio. It's rather interesting, actually. Let's have a look at it now. Michael Gudinski with Phil Collins from Genesis.
When Peter Gabriel decided to leave, it must be about 2 years ago now, what was the initial reaction within the band?
Well, I mean, obviously, one tries to persuade the guy to stay because it's, you know, not sort of pleased, but like the fact that we believed that at that point we were getting to the point where we could do anything we wanted to do. I was doing Brand X, you know, at my own band, and anybody could have done what they wanted to. It could have been worked out. But
any SI?
Okay.
Informative?
I'm getting some I want or we want statements.
Yeah, I'm getting informative. I'm getting what other people wanted. I don't know what the fuck he's saying. It doesn't seem direct at all. Woo, this is interesting. This is interesting.
To do. I was doing Brand X, you know, at my own band.
I was.
And anybody could have done what they wanted to. It could have been
Anybody
worked
could
out.
do what they wanted.
But quite rightly, I think, Peter decided that he wanted to have more control over his own songs. Everyone writes individually, you see, as well as collectively. So he has a whole backlog of songs, and he felt he wanted to be more in control and not compromise his ideas in the same way that Steve's just done. You know, he has exactly the same kind of feeling. So you leave. I mean, we're all three of us that are left. You know, we enjoy writing together, and we're quite prepared to make some of the compromises with our own music. You know, if I bring a piece in, and Tony.
Affiliative?
Compromises, yeah. Talking about collaboration.
Well, are we hitting the ISFJ? Really?
Could be.
Yeah, could be.
Seems like it, right? Informative, responding, SINE, TIFE.
So far, yeah.
Damn. I was not expecting this. I really was not.
No. Nope.
Likes something about it and doesn't like something about it, we'll sort it out, as opposed to being totally a dictator, you know. Anyway, get back to the point. I mean, we try to work things out, but I mean, he wanted to leave, and so from that moment on,
try to work things out.
Yeah, that's more
affiliative.
Yeah, more affiliative.
Yeah, but he does this thing where they're like, anyhow, like trying to bring it back, like the informative person.
Yeah.
So he seems quite informative.
Yeah, you're not controlling his face and not very clear.
No. Nope.
Well, here's what it is. That's why we do things together, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we still had 3 months of touring to do, you know, with this situation. So there was no bad vibes or anything. Everyone was quite happy. But
no bad vibes. Everybody was quite happy. I feel this.
Not only that, you guys with the situation. It's like
almost FE-ish, like what everyone else was feeling. It seems more FE than FI. He's not talking about how he felt.
I just said
it's about everyone else.
I just said it's a affiliative. No bad vibes. Blah blah blah. I just hit it for affiliative.
Yeah. Okay.
That moment on, we talked in groups. You know, the four of us got together every now and again to talk about what we were going to do, whether we were going to carry on or what. And we decided to leave it until we had the music. So we had this music.
It's affiliative. Can we go ahead and just go and hit him for affiliative?
Just mark him hard.
Yeah,
on that one.
He's affiliative, guys. So shit.
He's affiliative maxing.
Yeah, he's affiliative, guys. So we got him for affiliative, guys. So being affiliative eliminates half of the board because that's 8 types. He's either SJ or NF, being affiliative. And we're picking NISC. So we gotta do some hard work here. We ain't gonna lie, we gotta do some hard work here. I'm like, is this motherfucker like what's going on here?
In the rehearsal room, and we started playing it, and it really took off. And so, you know, we kind of decided that we were going to carry on anyway. I mean, to my point of view, I knew the band, not with me as a singer, because at that point I had no idea, but just the band could sustain itself, you know, because the band was good enough. It was like 4/5 of the writing.
TIFESI from this guy. Like, even though he's like the band, like he went to his own experience, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not talking like
we're going to carry on anyway. I mean, to my point of view, I knew the band.
I knew the band.
To my point of view.
That's to my point of view.
Yeah. And SI.
And SI. I was mainly catching SI.
Yeah.
Not with me as a singer, because at that point I had no idea. But just the band could sustain itself, you know, because the band was good enough. It was like 4/5 of the writing material left.
Yeah, well, from the point of view, it must have been quite frightening in the sense of the tour coming up, and that the band had really got to a point where, like you say, it could have done anything, and it must have been like, you know, where's Peter going to, in that sense that we had it all before us.
We didn't have anything like tours would have been immediately scotched, you know. I mean, just sort of, we always decide what we're going to do.
What the fuck is he saying? Can we hit it for informative? Can we hit it? Like, what the fuck is he saying, bro? Like, I'm really trying. I'm really trying. Like, yo,
are we sure he's not high? I don't know. Are we sure he's isn't high?
That's crazy, bro. I can't believe people say, like, some people say I'm ESFP, and it's like, what have I ever said that's informative? Are you fucking stupid? Like, you have to be fucking stupid. And I get in trouble calling people stupid. Like, but Jesus Christ, I'm sitting here listening to this guy, and I'm like, yo, listen to him.
The sense that
Am I lying?
Yeah, I
we
mean,
had it all before us.
we didn't have anything like tours would have been immediately scotched, you know. I mean, just sort of, we always decide what we're going to do if we can make a record, because that's really the most important thing, you know, getting our music onto a record. Has always been prime importance. So as long as the music was there, I mean, we knew we could make a good album.
A couple of
that's what it came
F5s.
down to, you know. And
Well,
Prominent importance.
There's some FI statements. Yeah, this dude's all
there's a
over
little
the
bit of
shop.
FI, but I've seen a little bit of outcome. I've seen a little bit of outcome
Yeah.
here because he's talking about
Yeah, but it makes sense if he has FE parent, and then it would be like FI critic.
yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of, the math is kind of mathing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck is he saying, bro? Like, that's crazy. Like, you know, I'm like, yo, what is he saying, bro? Like sometimes it's like the informed people are just like, it's too easy to pick up. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, bro, what are you, like? He just blabbing his mouth.
I hope I don't sound like that. Jesus Christ.
Like, literally, guys, crazy.
And Road was a different kind of problem altogether. But as soon as the album was behind us, it was then, you know, what should we do? And so we got Bill Bruford to play drums, and I started singing.
But before the decision was made,
That's
for
the
you to
only
start
part
singing,
I
I believe there
understood.
was audition after
Well, I
audition.
didn't understand shit he said, bro.
Bill
About
Buford's
him and the
one of the
group
great drummers.
Yeah.
Him and the
He's
group
very
and-
he
Bill
was being
Buford's
very
a great drummer.
suggestive. Yeah, he was being very suggestive at one point, but then just about the change of drummer and stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's the only part that I actually got out of it.
Bill Buford actually played for Yes as well, and I think he's done other bands as well. He's a great drummer, very rudimental drummer in comparison to like guys like Alan White. Phil Collins is very rudimental as well. You'll see even Phil Collins has much influence on like Neil Peart and other artists going up to like Tool. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
Damn, I think he might be an ISFJ. That's crazy.
Is that
Yeah, it was
reported?
kind of leisurely, though. It was quite a leisurely sort of panic. I mean, he left and we started rehearsing as a four-piece. I was going to sing a few of the songs, the quieter songs, because I'd never sang.
You hear it? His cadence with the I, even from like we went from another interview to another interview, and he keeps going back to like listen to us. Like, it's there.
Sounds like
It was kind of leisurely, though. It was quite a leisurely sort of panic. I mean, he left and we started rehearsing as a four-piece. I was going to sing a few of the songs, the quieter songs, because I'd never sang any of the louder songs because I was always playing the drums, right? So we put an advert in the Melody Maker, you know, Genesis / Yes type group want singer, right? And see what we came up with. And we did come up with a few we did come up with a few a lot of replies, about 400 replies, with tapes and with records that people had made, or the tapes of people singing along to our records, all kinds of things. And the office sifted them out, and we got about 30 short on the short list.
Did anyone come close?
Not really. Yeah, it was quite depressing because we'd be rehearsing for like 6 weeks or something, and every Monday we'd have 5 or 6 people down.
Like, are we dealing with ESFJ here? Are we dealing with ESFJ here? Or are we dealing with ISFJ here? I'm trying to listen to him. I think that's gonna be our hardest battle here. I think realistically, I think that's gonna be our hardest battle. Like, are we getting ISFJ here or ESFJ?
And also, to be fair, the audio quality's shit.
Yeah. So
Might even be worth going to another interview, man, because this one seems just a little bit strange.
Okay. These guys said, okay, I want to do one. I just want to get him.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. This is the Phil Collins.
That one.
All right. I'm Ray White. We're LIRFM, and did we catch you off guard there?
You did a bit.
Okay, joining us this afternoon is, well, we won't even say who he is. 6 away from 5. We'll just hold up the album for the microphone.
How was it for you?
Yeah, we got that for you right there.
I know, good old Stevie, eh?
Yeah, Phil Collins is here with us. You finally showed up. We thought you were going to stand us.
No.
Traffic, I heard, is nasty today in New York
Yeah,
City.
it is nasty, and I had a few things to do at the offices, Atlantic offices. So you know what I'm trying to do?
What are you trying to do?
I'm
we can SI, bro. Can we go in here for SINE?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's first-hand experiences.
Yeah, it's all.
Everything.
I mean, we have to hit them for SINE. Unfortunately, guys, with that being said, that eliminates a lot of the board for us, guys. And I said it, I projected it. This is the problem where we're gonna have problems with because if you look at the board here, we got affiliative, informative, SINE, TIFE. So with that being said, that means we're looking at these two types, ESFJ, ISFJ. Very hard. We're gonna have to look for progression. We're gonna have to look for initiative. It's gonna be very tough. So gonna be
Or outcome.
Or outcome. Yeah, that's what we're gonna be hunting. That's what we're gonna be hunting here.
Yeah.
Convinced, because I cut my album like a black R&B album, even down to the way it was mastered, and the horns on it and everything. And I wanted to go to the office to talk to Cotillion label, Henry Allen, who's the president, because what I want to do is put out Behind the Lines and If Leaving Me Is Easy to the black radio stations, because I'm convinced that in there they would play it.
Sure.
And that's what I've been. That's why I'm late. I'm sorry. I had to get it out of my system.
All right. How would you is mastering an album like an R&B or a black?
You kind of like outcome there, right?
He's talking about getting it to a specific radio station so it plays it to like black audiences.
That's what I picked up. I didn't pick up everything that Zara said, but I'm getting that. Yeah.
I got that right, PC, right?
You might want to just replay it because I kind of lost that last end part of it.
What are you trying to do?
I'm convinced, because I cut my album like a black R&B album, even down to the way it was mastered, and the horns on it and everything. And I wanted to go to the office and talk to Cotillion label, Henry Allen, who's the president, because what I want to do is put out Behind the Lines and If Leaving Me Is Easy to the black radio stations, because I'm convinced that in there they would play it.
Sure.
And
I'm convinced
so he made a black
outcome, right?
Yeah.
So he made it. So he was essentially he made an R&B album, and then he wanted to play it to at black radio stations.
He had an outcome in mind.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been. That's why I'm late. I'm sorry. I had to get it out of my system.
All right. How would you is mastering an album like an R&B or a black thing different than, let's say, a Genesis record?
I mean, spiritually, it was coming. The kind of music I listen to is mostly black music, and there is a difference. If you listen to a Queen record, and then you listen to an Earth, Wind and Fire record, you'll have a good example of the difference between an English and a black record.
I'm trying to think of a rock.
It's a TI statement. It's this and that. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's kind of hazy, but whatever.
Yeah.
Record that sounds like a black record.
Well, there isn't really. I mean, basically, it depends. It really is down to the way it's recorded and cut, as well as the ingredients of the music. But I mean, I was coming from the what I consider black ingredients with the people down, even down from the people I used on the album.
Yeah.
And
the Alfonso is Alfonso Johnson.
Alfonso Johnson, the Earth, Wind and Fire people, and basically what I wanted to do was, I had a lot of trouble cutting the record. I went to about 5 or 6 people to cut it, and eventually I just decided to look on the back of the Earth, Wind and Fire sleeves and the Jackson sleeves, find out who cut the albums, and it was this bloke Mike Reese, who's in LA. So I rang him up and said, would you do it? And he said, yeah, and he did it, and I'm very happy with the result. But there is a difference.
The result,
happy with the result outcome. Fuck, dude. Fuck.
And he also said I wanted a slight NI, but it's not that.
Yeah. ISFJ. Were you guys expecting that?
No.
Nope.
There is life on Mars.
Or you once said that Genesis is your wife, Brand X is your mistress. What is this record? Your solo project.
Well, I've considered that my record is now my wife, and Genesis is my mistress.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm my own man now. I mean, I'm still with Genesis, and Genesis are very solid, more solid than ever.
We've been getting a lot of phone calls since we started playing the record. They're worried. People are worried.
Well, I've been actually, some of the press things have been saying ex-Genesis thing, but I mean, we've been rehearsing for 2 months for a new album, which is going to be very, very different because we're using a different engineer, We're producing it ourselves, and we're using the guy that did Peter Gabriel's engineering.
Steve Lillyway.
No, he produced it. Hugh Padgham.
Okay.
Hugh Padgham, and he also did my album.
All right.
And
T.I.
basically it's left up to me to find producers and engineers, and I really got on with Hugh very, very well. He's a very young, fresh engineer. So the music is very, very different as well. It's not rock and roll simple, but it's simple. It's like got space.
All right, more
mature.
Turn It On.
Well, the best tunes on Duke, we felt, were the tunes that we co-wrote together.
Okay.
And all this album, the new stuff, which could be a double because there's an awful lot of material, is all co-written. So, and that really is one of the main things, because I mean, I've got my outlet now for my songs. Tony's got his, Mike's got his, and we only come together to write because we like writing together. So we don't bother each other.
Togetherness, affiliative.
Yeah.
With our own material, which is good. It means the band is back to like it used to be in a way. We're just writing together and bouncing off each other.
Yeah, a lot more input or a lot more energy.
Yeah,
coming in. Do you have a problem with Genesis and people being a little too serious in their approach? I think I asked Steve Hackett this a while ago, and he says sometimes it gets to you. In other words, you're a band like The Who, like The Grateful Dead, that people have known over the years, studied, analyzed. They know they've got dossiers on you, pictures, you've got a book on you.
Too many preconceptions is a big problem. I mean, one of the reasons why I sort of become humorous on stage in between tunes is to take people off the edge of their seats and let them relax. But there are a lot of preconceptions about Genesis, which is, I mean, in England, for instance, I changed label for my own solo album to Virgin, because I wanted people to sort of completely divorce themselves from the Genesis thing. There's nothing like a Genesis album. And I wanted people that it can appeal to a lot more people than like Genesis, and people that don't like Genesis wouldn't even give it a listen because of all the preconceptions and the connotations that Genesis have. And it is a big problem, when it comes down to, for instance, playing it on black radio. I don't want them to know that I'm in Genesis because it will turn them off.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as they're concerned, I'm a new artist, and that's I want it to stand up, pardon the pun, at face value.
Well, we got to cut. This is going to be the first single.
All right, guys. I think we got ISFJ. I think it's very important when you're dealing with ISFJ to make sure it's not an ENTP. All right. Sometimes you get certain types, and it's like let's say you got an ESFP, or you got a person you think of ESFP. You want to verify that's not an INTJ. Right. So that's one of the things. Like you got somebody you believe is an INFJ. You want to compare. You want to make sure it's not an ESTP, right? Because they can kind of trick you a little bit. So, what do you guys think about just verifying that this guy is not an ENTP?
Not an ENTP.
Because got to verify. Because ISFJ, they can trick you. Because they'll be a lot of times they can be ENTPs.
Okay.
And that might be the hint why you might be getting a little bit want this, want that. But just verify. Like if you got like
Why don't we do that one interview?
Look against ESFP. If you had an ESFP, you want to look against INTJ. If you got fucking INFJ, you want to look against ESTP. Like you just want.
I was going to say a second ago, man, that he's pretty quick-witted.
Yeah, that's what. Didn't I just tell you that?
Yeah. Pardon the pun. The very fact that he caught that so quickly is pretty high. To me, is something that's usually what you'd see with either optimistic or high TI. So. That doesn't disqualify him from being an ISFJ, but that's pretty fast.
Especially with tertiary TI.
But didn't I tell you that before?
My mom is. I think my mom's a ISFJ, and she's really quick-witted.
You see what I'm saying? I told you that. Like you want to make sure it's not an ENTP you're dealing with.
Yeah, over here. It's not the other one in the air is #1 in England right now.
You're right. We've been playing that. Your brother did the cartoons on the import.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. He
does. He works for Playboy and We and Punch magazine in London.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Phil Collins' story there. It's a minute away from 5 o'clock. I'm Ray White. With me, live in the studio, is Phil Collins, WLIR Garden Cities, the radio station. This will then be the first single. We had been guessing that Behind the Lines would be it over here.
Well, as I said before, that's one of the tracks that I want to put out as a taster to black radio, because I think I don't really want to put it as a single because it's a Genesis tune, and obviously I'm very close to my interpretation of it, but I think it's good for me to have one of my own songs out straight off.
I mean, there are a few singles on the album that could eventually be pushed off.
I think what you've done too is you've at least blown everybody away in the
I
reaction.
think we got ISFJ here.
Mm-hmm.
I got more intention there.
The radio station. This will then be the first single. We had been guessing that Behind the Lines would be it over here.
Well, as I said before, you know, that's one of the tracks that I want to put out as a taster to Black Radio, because I think I don't really want to put it as a single because it's a Genesis tune. And I mean, obviously I'm very close to my interpretation of it, but I think it's good for me to have one of my own songs out straight off. I mean, there are a few singles on the album that could eventually be pushed off.
I think what you've done too is you've at least blown everybody away in the reaction that we've had, is that you've really slipped out of sort of a Genesis mold that would have had you pegged, and you've jumped all around. And even
well, I like so many different types of music.
Why has it been so long before this album happened? You've been that busy?
Well, if you've got 5 minutes, I'll tell you. I mean, basically...
Sure, we got 5 minutes.
I mean, 2 years ago, I went through a divorce, and... This left me emotionally odd, and with a lot of time. And so I had an 8-track studio at home, and what I did was I went up to the 8-track... I decided to look at it positively and use it as a stimulus. And... I locked myself in the studio and I just worked and worked and worked and wrote and wrote and wrote. And so, for the first time, I really had a chance to finish songs and to do nothing but write, really. And so, all this stuff that's on the album all had its foundations at home. I mean, I actually took the 8-track tape into a studio and transferred it to 24-track tape and then carried on overdubbing. So everything was done at home. The keyboards were done at home. I played the keyboards myself.
Yeah.
And the drums and the singing. All the drum machine and keyboards were done at home. Then I went into a studio, and it's a very personal thing, and it's only until recently that I've actually had the time to do this kind of thing. You know, before I was kind of too preoccupied with playing with too many people in a way. I mean, I still do that. I'm very involved with John Martin, who's an English guitarist.
Sure. Yeah, he's been.
And I played on his last album, which is just about to come out here.
It is finally going to come out here. Yeah.
And I'm producing his next one, and.
Is he going to tour over here, John Martin?
I know he's thinking of living over here, but I mean, this is all speculation, really. I mean, we're doing his next album in London with the same engineer that I used and the same studio, and I guess we'll end up co-producing it because he doesn't really need a producer, to be honest. And I'm whittling the other things.
This is tough.
Yeah.
This is tough. This is so tough because I think he's ESFJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's ESFJ. And maybe that's the reason why I'm more attuned to him, like sound like an ENTP. But I do see like we seem to have like, even if you listen to it here, it's just like he's just going through it. Listen.
And it's a very personal thing, and it's only until recently that I've actually had the time to do this kind of thing. You know, before I was kind of too preoccupied with playing with too many people in a way. I mean, I still do that. I'm very involved with John Martin, who's an English guitarist.
Sure. Yeah, he's been.
And I played on his last album, which is just about to come out here.
It is finally going to come out here. Yeah.
And I'm producing his next one. And
is he going to tour over here, John Martin?
I know he's thinking of living over here, but I mean, this is all speculation, really. I mean, we're doing his next album in London with the same engineer that I used and the same studio. And I guess we'll end up co-producing it because he doesn't really need a producer, to be honest. And I'm whittling the other things I do down to sort of the really worthwhile. I mean, I'm working with Townsend on his next album, and I'm just say John Martin, and I really want to do another one of my own. And I guess between that and Genesis, I got my work cut out for me now. And Brand X doesn't really exist anymore.
It's over with, yeah. Or will it come back again, or do you think it's finished?
It's one of those things that sort of rears its head every now and again. But I mean, you know. A couple of guys live in LA. Percy lives in New York. I live in London. Robin lives in London, outside London. We both live very close to each other outside. But he's doing a film. So right now there's no reason to get together. But it's always been like that, you know. It's always been a very spasmodic thing.
Very busy.
I like to keep busy, you know. It's what's good for me.
I think we got ESFJ here, man. What are you guys thinking? Give me thoughts, PC. Give me thoughts, sorry. I think we know we got SFJ here.
No, I'm just thinking that one interview where he's in the polo shirt is an older guy. Maybe that would be better. There was one where it was little. Yeah, we did this. We did. Yeah, that one, right? Yeah, I think that one will help us more.
Sure. Great to talk to you. Thanks for inviting us in. I thought it would be good to start talking about the thing that kind of drives you as a musician, the thing you know grew up doing, playing the drums. I thought maybe if you could tell us a little bit of why you became a drummer and what was it about drumming that you loved so much?
Well, I can't really, I can't remember why it was drums. I think it was, when you were growing up in the 50s, which is hard to sort of understand probably now if you're a kid growing up in this era, but back then, you got a soldier, a toy, and in my instance, I got a toy drum, and I can remember, I was only 3, I think, but I can remember, my kind of shutter went off when I got this drum. I can remember the instance, a lot of infant stuff you forget, obviously.
You see, like when you were typing that guy PC, and he kept referencing what, like other people. You see, how he's referencing his. That's SI. This is SI.
Yeah.
But this, I can remember this incident, and I was given a drum by my uncles, sort of family uncles. They weren't really uncles, and apparently I took to it, But I probably only given 3 or 4 Christmas presents. You played with them properly, as opposed to getting a Star Wars set or something. So I played with it, and then a couple of years later, I had taken to it so much that my uncles made me a drum kit, which fitted in a suitcase, a couple of crisscross bits of wood and poles sticking out with little symbols,
the detail,
and tambourines and stuff.
I'm just saying the
details.
SI details. Yeah, there's a lot of details in that one.
You remember when
I used to sit in the living room.
What is Czar?
Yeah, you remember PC when we were first watching him. I was thinking SI, and you were like SC, and I was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, because I thought because it might have been totemizing the object, but no. Now that I've changed, like I've looked over SI, it's like the detail to it is just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just I'm not like picking. I'm just saying it's just this is wild.
Yeah, it's just like it's his story, and nobody else is in it. This is what I'm picking.
Yeah.
And play this along to the television. And so somewhere in there, the bug was taken. The bug was kind of extraordinary. Pop music as such, the Beatles had yet to start. So it was all, my sister was a big record listener. Neil Sedaka and Tommy Steele. My brother was a Jim Reeves fan. But there was music one way or the other in the house. And I was actually, my mum and dad used to belong to a boat club on the Thames in Twickenham, which, all those years later I'm kind of honorary president of. But they used to, they were at the beginning of this yacht club. And I used to play at the shows on the drums, and there is some footage of that.
How old were you then? Like sort of 10?
I was probably 9 or 10. Yeah, because when I was 12, maybe I was 12 because I had a proper drum kit when I was 12.
You see it?
I think I'd taken to it so much that
you get information.
When it came to my birthday, I sold my brother's train set. I found out, I thought it was my train set, but he replied, he reminded me that it was his train set. So
He probably reminded you in no uncertain terms.
Well, yeah, he only came up about 15 years ago. He said, yeah, we were in the pool at my house, in Switzerland when I used to have a swimming pool, and he said, you know that
the
drum
SI, dude, he's literally telling you where he was being told and what was going on. He's like where he was. I'm like that. Yeah, that's some hardcore
He's strong SINE. Fuck, dude.
The train set you keep talking about. I said,
try to look for progression,
he said,
man.
That was mine, It wasn't yours. But I was the one at that point that was playing with it, so I considered it mine. But I made the ultimate sacrifice and sold that, and my mum put the rest. So I bought my first drum kit, and that is the drum kit that's in this footage. So I must have been 12, not even 13. I don't
Use
think.
TI to get to the duck.
So it's always been there, from the age of 5, seriously, to the age of 12, getting a proper drum kit, and then playing in my school bands, at drama school, which I joined when I was 13, 14. Used to play all Motown stuff and Otis Redding stuff. I used to sing a bit from behind the drums. We had a singer.
It's so much SI.
As well. Backing singers, It was, so it's always been kind of in my life.
Did you develop a kind of consciously develop?
I don't think I got pretty much of an outcome there. Like, where he's going on that, but let's go. Make sure, PC, fucking Zara, pay attention. We got to wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
The drumming style.
It's been too long.
Did you take the style from the particular genre, like, if it's Motown, you kind of listen to the Motown records and play like that?
I tried to play like that, yeah. I mean, I was left-handed. And
that's
so straight away that kind of, I remember I didn't set it up the way other drummers set it up. I set it up what was comfortable for me, which was exactly a mirror image of the right-handed drum kit. And I just picked it up. I mean, I guess because I listened to all kinds of music. By 1966, I was 15. I was listening to Buddy Rich and the big bands, and John Coltrane and people, which is kind of advanced for a 15-year-old back then. I mean, now it's maybe not so much of a stretch, but I was definitely listening to all kinds of music. I was a Beatles fan rather than a Stones fan, although I did buy both albums, both the group's albums, and I listened to all the stuff of the pop music of the day, the Kinks and the Yardbirds and the Animals and the Who. So, and I tended to sort of play like, I learned to play listening to records. So if it was a Who record, I would be playing like Keith Moon. And if it was King's record, I'd be playing like Mick Avery, or if it was the Hollies, I'd be playing like Bobby Elliott. I kind of worshipped all the drummers in the band, in the different bands. And so I guess, and the reason I mention that is because there was never particularly necessarily one drummer that I kind of set out to copy, and the styles of music were very different. And I think in later life that stood me in good stead because I could actually play in a lot of different styles, and even inside Genesis.
That's no outcome. That's no outcome. He's progression.
Yeah,
he's progression. He's progression.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he didn't have an outcome in mind on that one.
Yeah,
he just like I listened to it there.
If you go on with that clip, he talks about like he even with the Genesis records, he would play like it would be like a chameleon where he would play like Ringo for this song or Keith Moon for this song, whatever.
Hey guys, yeah, that was a tough one, guys. I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you. But we got Phil Collins as ESFJ.
Yeah.
We
got a censor.
We did not expect him to be so SINE. But we can't ignore it when we see it. We can't.
What do you think his Enneagram is, Mercer?
That's a tough one, man, because I'm not used to getting I'm not used to getting ESFJ, so I'm rusty with that.
Okay.
I'm
No
super
worries.
rusty with that.
I don't even know what subtype he is. I can't even. I don't reckon.
I I mean, I could think about him as a person, right? So ESTJs are initiating the concrete guys. We didn't get anything abstracted, did we? We didn't really, if you think about it, we didn't
No.
really get anything. More
No.
systematic, more about the structure of things and whatnot, affiliative,
Hmm.
informative. Like, there's several points in that interview where I was like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. We really wanted to hammer in and figure out was he journey focused or outcome, but it seems like he's more journey focused.
Yeah.
So much SI detail there and TIFE. So we have to conclude that he is an ESFJ for Phil Collins. What I will say for his subtype is he seems to be holistic FE.
Hmm.
He's not really
Yeah.
pushing his FE values. And then his I think he's harmonizing. He has to be harmonizing because he's not
Yeah.
really pushing his SI on people either. Right?
It's just that I can't compare him to anyone in mind.
Well, I think you got
Yeah.
to think about it. I think you got to think about it because FE when it's analytical is they usually pushing their values onto everybody
Yeah.
else to accept their values, and then SI when it's analytical is like Ben Shapiro. He's pushing his SI on everybody else, and he's not
Oh,
really
yeah.
doing that. So by
True.
default, if he's got double holistic, he's harmonizing.
True. True.
Um, just by the math there, guys. Watch the video
Nothing.
on that. So he's harmonizing. I don't know if I spelled this shit right, but he's harmonizing. He's ESFJ. Um,
Yeah.
I think what do you guys want to? I want to say he's above average to at least prodigy level when it comes to.
Yeah. Yeah. Easily.
What are you thinking,
Well,
P?
yeah, we got some TE there. So, um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
And we got
well, I mean,
AI there as well. I mean, so I mean, to be honest, I
Yeah.
think he's a prodigy level. Uh, Prodigy level, ESFJ. And this goes back to what we said, guys. Your personality type is not so important, but your development is actually the most important thing that you can do
Hmm.
because that's going to allow you to do everything, right? Because the
Yeah.
board becomes open to you. If you are just like a certain personality type, you're closed off to what that personality type has closed off to it. But when you become an advanced version of your personality type, everything opens up to you. So
Yeah.
to be honest, Prodigy, bro, honestly, anagram here, I don't really know. Um,
Yeah.
I think this is what I'm gonna go with. Maybe like a 6 SO,
Okay.
6, right? Because they're like the loyalists with the
Yeah.
systems and shit like that. So
yeah.
I'm gonna hit them with a 6 SO. That they tend to be loyalists, follow system, follow like the authoritative, like whatever. Um,
Hmm.
I,
Well,
I'm gonna hit,
parent SI would check out.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna. I mean, he went 6W7. Fuck it. I think he's a little bit living in the future, even though he is a 6, right? I mean, his music and all that shit. I mean, you probably could hit him for a 5, but I'm just error on the side. I've never seen ESFJs. I don't really get ESFJs. I don't really get ISFJs, so it's kind of like, what the fuck am I really seeing here? But I'm gonna hit him with that, and I'm gonna hit SP. I think he's definitely. He doesn't seem sexual. Sexual is like the counterphobic 6, so they can be confused as an 8, a little bit more
Yeah.
aggressive. So I'm gonna hit him for harmonizing ESFJ Prodigy 6W7 SOSP, and me and Zara and PC. We went through it for you guys on that fucking video because that one was a tough one. That one was a tough.
Yeah.
I think literally when we started out, maybe people were thinking that we are gonna INFJ, but there was
Mm,
just too much abundance of SI there.
Yeah.
SI,
Too
yeah.
much, like, yeah,
Yeah. Shit.
yeah, yeah. Anything you
Well,
guys?
at least dummy base was kind of close.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't be wrong there
Usually
because
they're completely off.
we were fighting to figure out what that was. We were fighting, to see was he journey focused or he's outcome focused. So, yeah, Phil Collins
Yeah.
did. We got him done. All right, you guys.